etc. DalePlay, incredible Latin producer, who has done Jennifer Lopez, Will Smith, etc. Dave McCraken, who's worked with Beyonce and Alicia Keys and others. These are all incredible songwriters and producers, and they have a lot to share about that kind of experience. So if you're interested in how the songwriting world works, then this will be great for you. So I'm actually going to start with Dave McCraken. I think yeah, right. I think everyone here is very curious about, the process of working with someone like Beyonce. She's got the reputation, besides being, such a massive artist, she's got this reputation of really being one of the hardest working people in the industry, and also someone who pays a lot of attention to how her projects work. Can you talk a little bit about your experience with her in general?
Well, the best thing about it was she works harder than anyone else I've ever worked with, and the great thing about it was, for me, was how in control she was of the process. And it wasn't like, she really monitored it and inspired it from within. And when I was working with her, there was maybe about 9 producers in the same complex. And we were there for 3 weeks, and we cut 85 songs in 3 weeks. And she controlled the whole thing. Like every night, we used to all meet up in one room at 10 o'clock. We all played each other what we've been working on. And how she tied everyone together. She got all these crazy creative people that come from such different backgrounds, and she focused it. That was the coolest thing that I sort of experienced from that experience.
Cool, and maybe, can you talk about a little bit of maybe even how that came about? I'm sure a lot of people are very curious, especially songwriters and producers, just, how to get in a room like that. How do you transition into getting into those kinds of projects?
For me, like the great thing about like the Rock Nation camp and the Beyonce camp, I was with Rock Nation for 8 years. I was published by them, and what they do is they just put loads of people that shouldn't really be in a room together, and something magical happens because everyone sort of like stops doing what they normally do, and they've got to think on their feet, and they've got to do things that they don't normally do. That was the awesome thing about that. It's like you really got took out of your comfort zone, and you definitely brought your A game. It's Beyonce, for God's sake. It's Beyonce.
Yeah, amazing. And with a writing camp that large, I mean, pretty much everyone here has done a writing camp before, and we just had the pleasure of doing a really cool writing camp here in Tel Aviv with some local talent as well. First, you've worked with a lot of Israeli talent as well. You've been here several times. Can you talk a little bit about your experience, within this camp, working with Israeli talent? How they kind of relate on the grand scale, and like how it's kind of merging into the international music business?
Yeah, well, the cool thing about coming to Israel is you guys have a whole different vibe, right? So when you come here, it's just a new energy, and for